everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card using the September stamp of the month and stencils. So this is the stamp of the month and you can get it for $5 with any $50 purchase. I'm also going to use A World with Octobers, okay? So if you're a VIP, you can get this stamp set for free with a $50 purchase. I'm going to use a couple of the smaller pumpkins and some of the wheat in that set. And then this stencil, it says all kinds of different fonts of thanks and thank you. And it's from Card Front Stencil Pack 1. So I'm going to use the light side of Sundance. And I'm going to cut this at a slimline size, which is 3.5 by 8.5. And we can get started with the stencil, okay? So I've got my spritz box here and I'm going to use Pixie spray. This is a low tack adhesive spray and it's good for stencils, and you just spritz it on and then it keeps the stencil in place while you're working with it. Okay, so I'm just going to place it down and then I'm going to use oxideinks to stencil with. So I'm using carved pumpkin, but you could use spiced marmalade, that's from Close to My Heart, any orange color that you like. So I like this lighter version. And I'm just sponging it through the openings on my stencil and just going all around and pouncing and twisting and pressing that ink into those openings. Make sure we've got some good coverage and ink is all the way through. And then I'm going to lift my stencil and shift it over to the right and do the same thing. Pretty easy. Okay, then I'll pull that up and I've got my background panel all completed. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in some watercolor paper and I'm going to stamp my pumpkins, and then I'm going to be coloring those in with the watercolor pencils that you see in the upper right corner of the screen there. Okay, so I'm going to stamp 2 of the pumpkins, and then I'm going to bring in some shortbread cardstock. I'm going to use the light side and Sundance ink, and I'm going to stamp a few of these wheat images. And then off screen, I'm going to color everything in and cut everything out with the coordinating thin cuts. Okay, so now we have everything all cut out and colored, and we're ready to start working on our sentiment on our card. So I'm going to take this large thankful and ink it up with black ink. You can use any black ink you like. And I'm going to just stamp it right in the center of the card. I love this font. It's just, it really packs a punch. So I love it. And it's great for slimline cards. And then I'm going to take the smaller So Very and ink that up in black and stamp that just above Thankful. Okay. All right, now I'm going to heat emboss with clear embossing powder over the word thankful. So I've hit it with my anti-static pouch, and then I'm going to ink up my stamp again in Versamark and stamp right over the same exact spot where the letters for thankful are with Versamark ink. And then I'm going to sprinkle clear embossing powder over it. This just intensifies the black, and it really makes a difference to go ahead and clear emboss over the black ink. I prefer doing that as opposed to using black embossing powder. It's just cleaner and I just like the look better. It's easier to do too, I think. All right, so I've heated that up and melted the powder, and now we're ready to start building our cards. So I have this piece of pumpkin spice paper. It's the dot paper, and I'm going to cut the frame from Slimline Shaker Window thin cut set. And I'm not going to make a shaker window, but I'm going to use this frame around the edges of my card. Okay, so I'm going to run this through. And if you've got the short plates like I have, this is how you do it. You run it through and make sure everything is secured with purple tape or washi tape so that the die doesn't move. And then you shift your die and run it through again, and that completes the cut. So don't worry if you don't have long embossing plates for your big shot, you're fine. Okay, so now I have a slimline card base. I'm going to start building my card. So I'm just going to tack down this background panel with Tombow tape. We'll get that down, and then I'm going to add my frame that I just made, also with Tombow. Pretty simple. The frame really does make a difference. Get that down. It's a little fiddly, but using the Tombow makes it easier to pick it up and shift it if you need to. So the stamp of the month is available until the end of September. So that's coming up pretty quick. So if you are interested in getting the stamp of the month, go ahead and go to the URL in the upper right corner of your screen, do some shopping, and you can get it for $5 with a $50 purchase. So now I'm adding my pumpkins. I'm just kind of laying things down right now before I start tacking things down with adhesive. So some things I'm going to put down direct to the card using Tombow. And then my pumpkins I'm going to add with foam tape. Just put a couple pieces of foam tape down, and we'll get those added to the front of the card. These pumpkins are so much fun to color in. It's a really great stamp set. So I'll make a list of everything that I used to make this card with links in the description below. Then I'll add those last two pieces of wheat on the right side with Tombow. And then, since I always have to have some added bling to my card, I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of these loose sequins, they're called Autumn, around my card with Tombow Aqua Glue. And there's my finished card. So I appreciate you watching my video today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.